I put at least half the ingredients away. I mean, I put the cheese. I did put the cheese away this time. I did put the cheese grater in a cup of water, and it was like gross, dirty water. And that's the only reason I remember, because I was tainting the grater thing by putting it in dirty water. So I know I did that. So I'm at least like 35% responsible. Welcome everybody to day 881 of Eating a Sheet of Paper a Day. Speaking of numbers, I know I was rattling off some very viable statistics to my father about my responsibility in the household, but I feel like we should go on something more relevant, and my score for yesterday is a 3.9 out of 10. Yeah, it was bad. I mean, mainly it's neuroticism, because I also, hello, Chai with 2 Ys. Maybe your like first name is Chai and your last name begins with Y, right? Like Yeltser or something. But I think it's a school thing. It's school neurosis, which I haven't experienced the condition of school neurosis in like a year or two. So it's cool to kind of be back in the swing of things. It's great that I am now a victim to the institution of the educational system and not myself, which is great. So I'm just stressing about this like weird debate thing I'm doing on Saturday. And it's great because I've practiced improvisationally speaking here, but that's not debate. Debate is structured because you have to tie in claim, value, warrant, other stuff that I don't remember, which is troubling because we need to do this competition on Saturday. But I mean, just pretend you know what you're talking about, and the judges might just be half asleep and they'll be fooled. That's my plan. This determines my grade, by the way, and my dad's right there, so I'm sure this is reassuring. My name is Cheyenne. I mean, yeah, it is based off your name, but in a short way. That's true. Yeah, Cheyenne, I feel like if you make your profile name a little too long, it's not brandable, and then you just lose views and no one cares, and your channel gets deleted out of shame. Which
that's a soft sh.
Oh, hi, Cheyenne.
Cheyenne.
Oh, not Cheyenne.
Cheyenne.
Oh, Cheyenne. Oh, like the tribe of Indians, right? I know.
I don't know. That's how I heard it.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume it's Cheyenne and not Cheyenne. So it's the action of making chai. I'm Cheyenne right now. But
it's having a craving for chai.
Haven't had chai in at least 8 years. I'm Cheyenne right now. Yeah, it's like chai withdrawal symptoms. That's stupid. What is a chai, by the way? There's so many names for this stuff. What type of caffeinated? Is it mostly milk and like?
Chai is just maybe a Chinese word for tea.
That's it? Isn't chai like creamier or something?
Indian?
Okay, but like tea is water with shit in it, but chai is like milk with shit in it.
No.
Okay. Shy, confirm that, yeah, it is. Okay, so Cheyenne, short, shy, right? Shy is in the state of mind. Okay, cool. Well, you certainly aren't shy here. You're very vocal in this chat today, and I thank you for that. Continued engagement. Apologies about the last 3 days or so. Things have been very wonky. This week has been evil. Lots of things coming out of nowhere, especially because spring break put me in this state of complacency and submissibility, which is not a real word. But I was too okay with just doing nothing, which I knew that would bite me in the ass, and it has. But I feel like I've adapted, and also I have to adjust the sleep schedule. But I have a lot of stuff going on right now, and it's amazing that I was able to squeeze this stream in. So I'm proud of myself. You don't owe me any thank yous or anything like that. I'm not entitled to that. I'm just entitled to congratulate myself for doing this. Oh, yeah. I forgot the fluid. I'll be right back. Just to confirm that I'm not cheating, still holding paper in this hand, paper right here. There is no matter lost or gained. Same amount of paper volume is unchanged. Paper quota remains filled. Okay, now let's drink. Yeah, and again, to be clear, this number score is my score for yesterday. Today is a lot better. So it was also really great is I'm not, I guess, causing a bunch of people to be concerned and ask me if I need a certain particular hotline number or anything like that after I give a score. I've done that with certain people on the stream too, so I understand that mindset. But if we do it for yesterday with a big grin on our face, it doesn't matter because that was yesterday's score, and I can emphasize today is a lot better. I am doing a lot better today. Okay. don't know, man. The thing that messes me up about the debate class thing is like, and what's also really hard to admit is that I had a certain sense of pride about it, right? I mean, and I've had a lot of people admit, oh yeah, I had an ego about it, and they think that absolves them of aforementioned ego. But I mean, it's very relevant. It's like a thing that troubles me is that I believe that I'm good at conversational reasoning, but when it comes to like structured MLA format, double spaced reasoning, I've never been an MLA person, and you know, I can come up with reasons for the issue, but I mean, I'm up there and I'm reading from a bunch of terribly written notes. By the way, my handwriting is in fact bad, and I don't know, man. I'm just looking at all this stuff and I'm going, wow, I very clearly did not segment out, and it needs to be segmented out. You have to. We were debating whether or not social media is good or bad. Right? I don't know if I had this conversation with you. It was brief, but I hinted at it, and I mean, we were for the quality of life decreasing because of social media, and then uh, other people were softballing the worst reasons as to why social media actually is good. And they were going, well, okay, think about it this way. Riddle me this. What if the time that is spent, because we showed some statistics that proved that people are in fact addicted, right? That was our initial point, addiction. And it's interesting because in other ones, we showed that depression increases because of this increased use. But because of the weird way debates are segmented, the opposition went, well, okay, let's look at this individually in a vacuum. How do you know that they're not spending this time that you proved in this specific contingency online 2 hours a day? How do you know it's not spent doing something productive and positive? And I'm like, we just said it in the second thing that you haven't gotten to yet. You know, it was very interesting. It's perhaps a test to see if we could call them out. And it's like, okay, but when I responded, because it was my job, and also we were given no time to confer with each other, so it's like we were individually writing our notes out. So I was the lone reasoner, and I had to just go up there and wing it. I couldn't bring up past statistics specifically to address that point, which is very interesting. I feel like I'm speaking in tongues and rhymes and riddles right now. So I'm sure the two of you that are on here are like, what the fuck's he talking about? I thought I was going to just see the funny paper eating guy eat paper. But this is important, man, because like, I mean, this is school, and this and school trains in this whole debate thing. Is it not how people in Congress decide shit? Whenever I see lawyers discussing stuff, yeah, that same segmenting and segregation of points has to happen. So when I was up there, what I was experiencing was what to me seemed like a very inefficient way of discussion. Okay, don't bring up the past statistics. Negate their claim that, well, they could be doing something positive, but the stat that was already given by the first guy, the prime minister, concretely showed that depression rates are going up, anxiety is increasing, and that's a good survey of the general population. So, okay, if there's positive effects, then where is it? You know, to me, it just seemed poorly conducted. But I also do think I referenced specific stats that Sean, who is my partner, very good guy, by the way, referenced earlier. So, I mean, I think maybe my error was not what I think it is. It's just the fact that I specifically referenced stats. What I should have done, and what I ended up doing at the end, which they didn't call me out for, which is probably a good sign, is I just went, well, let's just look at the facts here. I'm not going to say them specifically because Sean already gave them, but also look around you. I question, or I would ask anybody in this room right now to think about your experience on social media. Were you spending it on GoFundMe, spending an extended amount of time scrolling GoFundMe and donating to ALS or anti-suicide or helping Black kids with no legs? No, it was mostly spent scrolling Twitter, looking at outrageous things that Kanye or Elon or things that Trump allegedly did. Most of it spent with outrage. And that's my experience on Twitter, which is why I don't go on there anymore. But I don't think that's unique. Most people, in fact, it's a thing recently that there has been engagement bait, rage engagement bait, because people see an outrageous thing that increases traffic. Companies have every incentive to do it, right? I think bringing that would have been my better approach, you know? But I was so focused because I thought that it was so statistics based. But one thing the teacher, very good teacher, by the way, she said is like, treat this like primarily a conversation where you're using your common sense, and secondarily as kind of your backup of statistics you can use. Yeah, the statistics are very important and it's good to have them, but if you're just referring back to them, it will be robotic and will decrease credibility. And then she added, I don't think you were robotic. And I'm like, oh, thanks for trying to be courteous. But, you know, if I say, let's think about it this way. Let's treat the debate like one of these paper streams, except without the rambling, which is 90% of it. That's the difficult needle to thread on Saturday. What am I majoring in? No, I like it. Oh, thank you. I'm majoring in comms. I hope that I'm communicating all my points quite clearly, because if I don't, then I guess my career pathway is screwed. And I'm going to try and transfer to SDSU. I guess I'm doxing my location by saying that, but there you go. That's where I'm going. I'm failing my classes, but I think I can pass. It's slim, but it's a chance. No, that's where I'm at right now. This is actually my whole thing I'm describing right now. My experience on Twitter too. Yeah, I mean, you could just do a really easy survey. And what's interesting is you have to judge what can be taken as fact. Like, I think, I mean, even when my training for these debates is talking with my father, and when I do this, he calls into question everything. And I think that was simultaneously good and bad, because there are just things that the general public can't accept. You know, it's like I thought that I would have to back up these experiences are largely negative. No, everyone's been on social media. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. I don't need to back that up. And so it's weird getting used to this new format. And it's like, if I believe that it's self-evident, I don't even really need to back. I can just conversationally bring it up, you know. I'm going to have to act off instinct for these two. The worst thing to do is to pause and go, can I repeat myself? Don't do that, you know, which I didn't, but I got dangerously close. And I'm like, I know that it's way better to fuck up the structure and to instinctively go off what I believe is common sense rather than to question the validity of my own reasoning in the middle of giving my big debate speech. That's like the worst thing to do. If your pants are down, don't tell anybody. You're behind a podium after all. No one can see it unless you turn around and wiggle your ass. So I guess the brutal shock, and this should not be this brutal. This just exposes my hubris. But it's the fact that I am so shaken that I thought that I would do outstanding, and I just did okay. Because it doesn't matter how good my reasons are if they're not MLA formatted. In debate form, each contingency needs to be numbered and listed. And the game changer is just the formatting of the information, right? I can go into an Instagram DM argument about whatever executive order Trump signed or whatever the hell. But I mean, the reason why those conversations are largely unproductive is, for one, you're debating with a dumbass on the internet, most likely a robot. And two, nothing is organized because there is no push for it. There is no judge. There's no person calling people out. Hey, point of order, organize your shit. Right. And I mean, not only am I not used to that, I don't think anybody's used to that. I don't even people who I know who are intelligent. I mean, it's just a system that is exclusive to this field. I mean, it's because it was designed to make conversation the most productive, but it's just so weird. It was so weird how the more structured, and I guess if I were to hopefully not misuse the definition of this word, but bureaucratic things become, it is in the name of practicality, but if I'm zooming in, each individual thing seems greatly impractical. Like, why is this rule even here? I have to abide by that on Saturday, though. And if I do well, if we make it past what they call it, the preliminaries, the preliminary rounds, automatic A+ on the final for this 3-credit class, which I would love, but I mean, I feel like that's the equivalent of, you know, getting a scratch-off ticket or something. It's like the chances are quite low, and I should just expect to have fun. I mean, one thing is guaranteed. As long as I get there on time, I will be getting an extra credit, and as long as I attend and don't take a shit on a table or anything like that, as long as I complete it without any hitches, I just get an extra credit. So no matter what, it boosts my grade. But I don't know, man. I just want to do the best that I can. And the fact that I was up there and I was completely lost, I was like, oh, wow, everything's, written in black ink and I can't see anything. I don't know what the contingencies are. I was being stopped halfway through every single sentence because she's like, wait, what contingency response is this? You got to number these things and organize them. And it wasn't organized. So I had to go through the entire last 2/3 of my shit, knowing that I would be basically going, okay, here's 3 words. Am I on the right track? And she would say no. It was humiliating. It's hot and cold. And every single time I moved in a direction, I would get an electric shock through my collar. And I go, nope, wrong direction. It's like, yeah, because I didn't properly plot anything out. So I don't know where I'm going. So I have to walk across the street. And if I walk one wrong step, of which there's no way for me to know, I'm screwed. She kept stopping me in the middle of my sentences. I'm like, okay, I guess that's not what I'm supposed to do. So, but I was later told it's a normal part of the learning curve. And so I'm sure it's so weird because I do believe as long as things aren't in the form of walls of texts and 4-minute long voice messages over Instagram or text DMs or whatever, I'm quite good at conversationally rationalizing things or getting to a bottom line with people. I've gotten better at that at the very least. But formal debate is not like a conversation at all. Because the team that wins often can have the worst reasoning. They just need to have a better understanding of the format. And that's so grim. That's so evil. It is the exact same thing of me writing a badass essay and then me getting the worst grade in the class because it wasn't double spaced. Like, you guys get why that's so bad. Like, how important is the double spacing? Like, truly, if you're having trouble reading it, if it's single spaced, I don't know, get a pair of glasses, buy a fucking monocle or something. Just hold the glass up to the paper. It's bullshit. I feel like you could be crazy. Well, thank you. You just got to follow the rules. Yeah, no. And here's the thing. Miss Perigo told me, she's like, there's always an extended learning curve where people just consistently fuck up. And for you, because your brain does not think in linear fashion, you often skip steps. It's fine. And I mean, it makes me seem super smart or whatever, but it's like, it's actually a problem because in debate, you have to outline claim, causation, solution, effects, advantages, disadvantages. One, it has to be top to bottom every single time. And if someone brings up potential solution, my brain automatically fills in all the steps because I just know how to do that. But then I just go straight to advantages and disadvantages. So I just go, listen, if this happens, I'm telling you, we will see this effect. And it's not like I'm wrong or anything, but I just forget. It's not natural to me to include every single step top to bottom. And so I have to be painstakingly step by step, and I have to flow everything out because I would give a pretty salient point, and then I would be asked very aggressively. It would be like, okay, how does this prove your point, though? And I'll go, fuck, what type of question is that? And it was just so not natural to me to have to go, okay, here, let's tie this up. Oh, this statistic does in fact prove that there's an increase in these mental health problems as the increase in social media usage has happened. All right, increase. There could obviously be other explanations, but you tell me a better explanation for why depression and anxiety has increased as usage of social media has increased. And then she went, okay, there you go. There's your point. Now you have to do that 4 more times and fuck up 4 more times, get corrected 4 more times. And then I'm done. And that was the most painful process ever. I looked like a damn fool. And again, there was nothing wrong with the reasons I gave. It was a pretty basic critical thinking exercise, but oh, Jesus Christ, it was just so bad. I couldn't flow properly. I couldn't flow my sentences like I can right here because, I mean, my teacher, I just didn't understand the format, and she just stopped me. She was like, I cannot believe I outdid you yesterday. 3.9 versus a 3.7. Oh, another thing that happened is I watched Sinners, the new Ryan Coogler movie. What's interesting is it's a 4.3 on Letterboxd. I'm so sorry. It's a good movie, but it ain't all that. Just for reference, Eternal Sunshine's a 4.2, okay? Think about that shit for a second. Sinners, it's good. I like the concept, but it is just mildly above average action movie at best. I believe what's happening here, especially I call it the Coogler effect, because it's happened with Black Panther and Black Panther 2 as well. The community is very unique, and it does determine public perception, and it's a snowball effect. Hype greatly affects a movie. If you see that people are seeing it as good, then your brain will automatically see each individual aspect of a movie as good. So with Black Panther, people were like, "Oh, this is the future of movies," and then people were going crazy about it, especially because Kendrick made the soundtrack music from and inspired by. It appeared on the surface, especially because the community was a huge part of what it externally looked like to people, especially people walking into the theater who hadn't actually seen the product yet. The trailers looked awesome. The soundtrack was made by Kendrick Lamar. Everybody is saying it's really good. But then if you look at who is saying it's good, it's people who don't even watch movies unless Marvel or someone like Ryan Coogler, who is seen as progressive in the new era of filmmaking, releases it. This is a hyper mainstream audience that hasn't really been clued into movies. Like, I'm going to guarantee you this right now. Most of the overlap, or most of the people who watch Sinners and called it the best thing ever, there's very little overlap between those guys and the people who say enjoyed Anora, The Brutalist, The Substance, those types of movies. This is a whole different group of people we're talking about here. And even just looking at some of the people giving their top reviews of this movie, they haven't reviewed anything since, like Quantumania, These are people who only see a big name directing a movie and go straight to it. And it's better than the average Marvel movie now. But I mean, if I'm looking at what's in the movie, there are some pretty good editing choices, but there are some pretty bad CGI. There's some bad CGI in the movie. I'm kind of tired of this whole like, okay, a group of oppressed people are going to make music and they're followed by this curse, and it's interesting, but then at a certain point, it's like, okay, so every single white character in this movie is now circumstantially a vampire and they're infecting everybody. And there's one character played by Haley Steinfeld, who, by the way, makes a big deal about the fact that that her mother's father is 1/8 black, and that's why she's hanging out with them. And so it's very clearly like who you are internally and genetically will determine your worth. And so she's like, it's interesting because in that scene where she's introduced, she's like, man, you're the one whitey who doesn't hate us because all whites hate us right now because it's the 30s. And then she's going, no, but my mother's dad is 1/8 black or 1/2 black. And that's why it's like, okay, so if she didn't have any black ancestry, you're saying she'd be incapable of taking sympathy. And that doesn't make sense within the vacuum of her character. But every other white character is just a vampire who's evil and plays bad music because there's like black music versus white music. That's what's happening in this movie. And what's so funny is that when someone gets bitten by the vampire, they become Irish. They're literally all Irish dancing, all the vampires. Spoilers for Sinners. If you don't want to see spoilers for this critically acclaimed movie, then get the heck out of here right now. But a new viewer came in. Okay, I'm going to warn you too. Spoilers for Sinners. However, I don't think it's worth all that, all right? Nearly every character. There we go. They skipped because they actually want to watch this movie and get disappointed. Or watch it and go, wow, that was amazing. I haven't watched anything since Black Panther 2. But she's so bad. Thank you, Ian. Respect. Like, what's really interesting is, I mean, anti-white racism is permissible, but anti-Irish racism is a whole other step because, again, the movie is very subtext laced, but it's also very non-specific. So if you actually look at the plot of the movie and what happens, or just watch the movie yourself, which it's a good movie overall, I advise you do it. But I mean, it's a problem I talked about in what I believe is my personal favorite video, which is the art versus propaganda, which is like, are we accidentally creating a bunch of fuckheads on Twitter that are going to just make a huge deal, and they're like, their opinions are very clearly influenced by the media they consume. I know that the popularity of this movie is going to entail so many people who are going to continue this trend of saying, man, white people can't make music, white people can't make art. Believe it or not, I see this perspective all the bloody time. And I'm just saying it doesn't help, and it's just unnecessary if you have a movie where it's like the black people in the movie. It's not saying that black people are more capable of making good music than white people, but circumstantially, just by pure coincidence, every black character makes beautiful music that connects with. And there's this scene that is very good. I like this scene, but the 1930s Robert Johnson blues characters playing, and he's spiritually connecting with every era, past and future, of the music makers that really connect to the soul of music. It's seen as this religious thing. It's like you go into this spiritual fourth dimension, right? And so it's all black people. Those are the only legit musicians. If you're connecting, you're telling me that, okay, white musicians are legitimate, but they're in a separate, like, racially segregated fourth dimension religious zone. That's bullshit. So you're telling me that there's just one objective music zone, and that one music zone only has black people. So the insinuation here is that the only people capable of making good music are black people. I love black people and I love black music. Don't get me wrong, but that's just ridiculous. Anybody is capable of making good music. Doesn't matter what sort of pigmentation you got. You know, and because cultures are different, you know, obviously the type of music's going to differ, but it's just really, really strange. But then on top of it, yes.
Mom says you have a meeting in 3 minutes with the DOI.
Oh yeah, I'm going to have to exit soon. Yeah. No, I'm ready. I got my phone at the ready. Yeah, they'll call me and then I'll pick up and all that. But it's so weird that, like, also circumstantially, every single character starts Irish dancing. Excuse me. So I don't know. I mean, again, nothing in the movie is explicitly stated, which to me seems like a little bit of a safety net Coogler is throwing upon himself. He can erase accountability. But all I'm saying is it's just a little weird to see a movie like that. And I mean, if you want to know more of what I'm talking about, just watch my art versus propaganda video. I talk about instances in this and American Fiction, Get Out, Barbie, all these popular movies. This is super permissible for some reason, and people do this. And I know that if this happened in the opposite direction, it would not be permissible at all. It'd be seen as racist. So how is this any different? That's all I'm saying. Doesn't mean the movie's bad, and I am totally for bullying and racism in movies. But if we're gonna have racism in movies, I'm all for that. That sounds fun, but let's do it equally. Let's do it fairly. Hold on.
Literally, it's like, please give us another chance. What's that? So anyway, I'll send it to you.
Ugh, God. Okay, I gotta zip out of here because I have this call.
He's completely cowed. Battered. He's going to need therapy.
I don't know who my dad's talking about. Probably not me. But yeah, Sinners was a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10 movie. I'm going to speed eat the rest of this shit. All right. Shy, or Shy, that's how I pronounce it. I will see you later. Hold on, wait.
I'll forward it to you. But,
Thank you for watching. Make sure to live, laugh, cry, and also not die. And until next time, this is goodbye. Hold on, I said that too early. God damn it. There we go. Last two pieces. We ready? I mean, you guys accepted my goodbye and you guys left already, so it's just me by myself now. Okay, hold on. It's 2. Shit. Okay, cool. All right, last piece. Chai says nope. Okay, well, my viewer little dashboard thing is just glitching then. Never trust YouTube to tell you the right numbers. That's what I always say. All right, Chai, Ian 30, Sight Unseen, Moses, and whoever else anonymously and introvertedly came on here. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, we're doing okay.
We're going to eat paper together in the days to come. 3, 2, 1.
You know, the usual when you're gone.
3, 2, 1. I am done. All right.